Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. It is almost time for Pancakes. Kiwanis' Community Pancake Day is happening on November 8th. So we are on the Zooms today talking both with Kiwanis. Carlton Rio is joining us. He is the chair of Community Pancake Day from the Kiwanis Club of Winchester. Kevin Brandiff is also with us. He is the executive director at Froggy's Closet because Froggy's is the beneficiary of the Fall Pancake Day. So thank you both for taking some time this morning to give me the details and a rundown on what people can expect.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Janet.
So, Kevin, let me start with you. For someone who hears Froggy's Closet and thinks they know what that is, but isn't 100% sure, give me some history, some background. Tell me a little bit about what you do at Froggy's Closet.
We were founded in 2009 by a mom who was a foster mom and observed what it was like for foster parents to be able to get some of the supplies and the support that they needed to be able to be good foster parents. So there was a group of those started, and we provide all different kinds of supplies from cribs and walkers, strollers to diapers, clothing, wipes, books, toys, anything that you can imagine that a young family would need. And then several years ago, we went beyond foster parents to families in need. And that's a big part of what we do right now is providing support and supplies for families in need. And it's grown year after year, and the need continues to grow in the community. But we're also lucky to have some great people in this community who are really supportive and really give generously. So we're grateful for your listeners and the entire community in Winchester for all that you do to help us out.
Carlton, this fits square in the wheelhouse of what the Kiwanis Club of Winchester does on a regular basis, but in particular when you do these events like the Community Pancake Day.
Yeah, our primary objective, or the objective as Kiwanis as a whole, is to provide for children's related organizations like Kevin's. In the past, we've sponsored or had beneficiaries like Family Promise, which focuses on homelessness for families, but specifically families with young children. So that's really what we search for when we reach out to major beneficiary potentials, when we solicit them to present to us and choose who we're going to pick for this particular year. So Kevin obviously was one of those organizations, Froggy's was, as well as Family Promise. And then we'll go on a search again this winter for who our next major beneficiaries will be that we can hopefully provide for the well-being of children who are in need in our community.
Kevin, I had Robin Miller on the show several pancake breakfast days ago talking about Watts being one of those recipients. And she was explaining about how much work her nonprofit in particular does as part of the overall event. That's got to make it a little bit more fun for you between selling tickets. And I think she joked that she had learned more about how to make coffee for the masses than she had ever known previously. How exciting is it to be part of the actual day itself as well?
That was extremely exciting. I've been part of the meetings from the beginning. I'm absolutely impressed with how well the Kiwanis have this event put together. They seem to have this extremely well organized. It's going to be a joy for us, and we're really looking forward to doing this event. And I'm sure I will learn as much about making coffee and flipping pancakes and doing sausage than I've ever known before, and I'm really excited about it.
So when he says that, Carlton, I can't help but think, I bet there are some seasoned pancake flippers that are like, oh, no, 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 no. The pancakes are my job. And you just stay over there and do this because you do have a pretty good team that has some longevity.
And even within our committee, we have some people who've been in there for over a decade. So that's why what Kevin is seeing is we've got a pretty well-oiled machine of participants in our committee. So a lot of the conversations are very short. Have you got this handled, this handled? I'm blessed to have that many people that are so well versed in what their particular roles are in the committee. This is my fourth one that I've participated in as a chairperson or co-chair. We're there all day Friday for the setup and all day Saturday pretty much. So it's a long time, but it's a lot of fun. It's a great opportunity to not only make new friends like Kevin is to me and other major beneficiaries that we've been able to participate with, but your fellow Kiwanians and even people from the community. You see people who had come and they look forward to the opportunity. We had a young mother with her daughter and they were taking pictures because she was so excited to introduce her daughter to Pancake Day because it had been a staple in her childhood and she enjoyed coming. And so it was neat to see people who have been coming for years and they enjoy continuing to come through their generations as children and then now as parents and then often as grandparents.
It is very much like Apple Blossom, particularly for us locals, in that
Mhm.
you see people at Pancake Day that you may not see any other time of year, but you get excited. Oh no, we have to go during this time because that's when we always run into so and so. And I haven't seen him since last Pancake Day in the spring or even yearly in the fall. So it is a great way to connect with people that you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of fun. And as a Kiwanian, a lot of our members don't have an opportunity to come out to the weekly meetings, but they always want to come out and participate in Pancake Day. So even with members that you've known and been friends with for many years, you have an opportunity to work side by side with them for a 3 or 4 hour shift. And I'm sure a lot of Kevin's people will come away from that and think, wow, this is really a lot of fun, not just work, but it is. It's something that the time goes by very quickly.
Evan, it's also a really good opportunity for you, aside from being the beneficiary of the event, to get the word out, to spread awareness about your organization to all of the community as they come through and enjoy their breakfast that morning.
Absolutely. It's a very low key, very low pressure opportunity for us to just tell people exactly what we do and what we need from the community and all the things that really make Winchester a great community to be in and how proud we are to be a part of it. I can't express how excited I am. Actually, it's the first one I've ever been to. I'm not originally from Winchester, so this is going to be a completely new experience for me in all ways, shapes, and forms.
He is a rookie in the true sense of the word, Carlton.
Yeah, for sure. He'll have a lot of fun. I know for certain that he's going to come in there and he'll be deer in the headlights in the beginning, like a lot of our new participants are. But as you get your role and your responsibility down, you'll find that it's a lot of fun. You have a lot of people who are there just to help you, and a lot of seasoned people who will just pick you up and carry you along with them and show you what to do. And it'll be a fun time for them.
You mentioned earlier that when you originally started, you were just serving foster families, and now you've expanded that to other families in need. Are there things out there that people think you do or don't do that maybe they are just misunderstood about?
I think we see more people not knowing the extent of what we do. I was just at a meeting the other day and we were talking about families in need of diapers and wipes. And I said, Froggy's Closet has them up into the largest sizes and even into to pull up sizes or whatever. It's like, oh, we didn't know they offered that. And yes, we do. We offer clothing up to size 18 and maybe some lower adult sizes. So it's really that matter of knowing the extent of what we do and that we really do try to serve children from birth to age 18 when they're moving out on their own.
And I would imagine too, sometimes it gets difficult because when we think of children, I think most of us think of younger children. And the fact
Mhm.
that you serve the entire age range of someone, it could be a 2-year-old that needs new shoes, but it could also be a 14-year-old who needs new shoes for school or for a sport, something along those lines. And you serve the entire gamut of that. I think sometimes we overlook the fact that older children have needs as much as the younger children do as well.
They do, especially a few weeks ago when school was beginning, and you see many families who are trying to get clothing for their children for the school year. I just went out the other day, was shopping for clothes, and I was surprised at how much it costs just for
Mm.
shirts and pants. You can be looking at it to have the clothing that one child needs for one season. You could be looking at 120, $150 or more for clothing. You imagine for families that have many children, just how expensive that can be. And many of these are families who are struggling to be able to afford the basics right now. So we are extremely happy and pleased and honored to be able to serve the community in this way.
Let's take a break. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit, Kevin, about what your closet might actually look like, because I would imagine you got to have a pretty big space to be able to have things on demand as needed. And the monetary donations that you'll get from being a beneficiary of Community Pancake Day are going to be really huge. So, can we get in the weeds on that in the next segment?
Absolutely.
We are on the Zooms today talking about the Kiwanis Club of Winchester's Community Pancake Day. It is happening on Saturday, November 8th. The beneficiary this fall is Froggy's Closet. So we're talking with Kevin Brandiff. He is their executive director. Carlton Rio is joining us as well as co-chair of the event. We're going to come back and talk more with both of them in just a couple of minutes.
Okay. I don't think Janet knows I'm recording this. She just stepped away to get another cup of coffee, so here's my chance. Hey everyone, it's Andy from the United Way of the Northern Shenandoah Valley. And yes, Janet, if you're hearing this, surprise. We're still celebrating the Valley Today's 2500th episode and this awesome community fundraiser you came up with. Here's the deal. Between now and the end of the year, it's Janet's goal to raise $2,500 to support the great work of the nonprofits in this community. If you give just $25 or more, you're going to be entered into a chance to be a guest on the show with Janet. If you give $250 or more, we'll make you a commercial just like this one that will air on the Valley Today podcast. So go to givebutter.com/The Valley Today right now before Janet realizes that I've hijacked her airtime. She's walking back in, cup of coffee in hand, gotta go. Remember to donate between now and the end of the year and support the great work of so many nonprofits and celebrate 2,500 episodes of The Valley Today.
Welcome back to the Valley. Today, I am your host, Janet Michael. We are on the Zooms today talking about the Kiwanis Club of Winchester's Community Pancake Day. It happens on November 8th. Froggy's Closet is the beneficiary this fall for their fundraiser. Kevin Brandiff is joining us. He is their executive director. Carson Rio is on the Zooms with us as well. He is the co-chair for the event overall. So, Kevin, when we went to break, we were talking about all of the things that are needed to get a child, not even just ready for school, but up and out the door sometimes in the morning. And you provide a lot of that, from the actual equipment, if it's a crib or a stroller or something along those lines, or clothing, things like that. I can't imagine what your warehouse must have to look like to be able to have all of the things at your fingertips.
Our office/warehouse is in the basement of the old post office, right across from the Hanley Library. And we have several rooms that are filled out. We have one room that has the next season's clothing or the previous season's clothing. And the one I'm in right now is this season's clothing for boys and girls. And as we mentioned before, from newborn up to size 18, and in most cases, and some young adult sizes as well. We have shirts and tops. We have coats. The coats are behind me right now. We have a long line of those. We've got shoes, boots. The other room has books and some toys. We have the furniture that you talked about before. We have all these different things for families who may need something. And that tends to be the things that we really look forward to in our community, are donations of gently used furniture or gently used clothing. The only thing we require to be new are shoes and underwear and socks and things like that. Those things we do need to have new, but the rest can be gently used, and we really appreciate those. We take donations Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 10 in the morning to 5 p.m. You don't need to make an appointment. You can just come in and say, I've got a donation for you guys, and we'll take it right in, and with a lot of gratitude, and we'll even give you a tax receipt so that you can take it off your taxes. If you don't have children at home or don't feel like doing the shopping part of it, we certainly accept monetary donations. Those are always appreciated, and those are very helpful to us. We don't get to go off to Maui or anything with those. What we use those for are those moments when the donations that we have don't cover the needs that we have. There may be some sizes that we need that we just don't have here, and they haven't been donated yet. This allows us to go out and buy new clothing as well as we can and try to get as inexpensively as possible. But that way we are able to fill a need much quicker that way. Monetary donations are always appreciated.
I've had that conversation actually with Elise from Bright Futures several times over the years. I think the last time she and I talked, she was leaving our recording because she had a request for a size 13 tennis shoe. And it was the one size in her massive warehouse that she did not have for a child who needed it at one of the middle schools. So that's where having that monetary donation and being a beneficiary of something like Pancake Day really comes in handy, because it allows you to run to the store and get something when that need presents itself.
Absolutely. In fact, since the school year began, we've had several sizes in boys and girls that as soon as we get them on the shelves, they're right out the door, because it's just that age, that size that we just can't manage to keep on the shelves at any one time. So we have to keep purchasing those things. So having the monetary donations and the support from individuals and organizations like the Kiwanis for Pancake Day is huge for us. We also get grants from United Way and from the Community Foundation. All of those come to help us to be able to fill those needs at a time when most families really can use that kind of support.
Carlton, this is one of those fundraisers. We talked about this earlier that people have now, it has become a tradition in their lives to come to Pancake Day. But I feel like there's also a part of our community that also comes because they know the money that you raise is going to a nonprofit that is in need and does serve our communities. It's got to be hard for you guys to only pick two for
Yeah.
these events in particular every year.
It is. We're fortunate that all the proceeds that we get from the Pancake Day not only go to our major beneficiary, but eventually make their way to different organizations in need in our community. We don't really hold anything back. We don't have any people who work for Kiwanis in our, at least in our local club. They have an international that has leadership and administrative duties, but they have insurance to pay and various other things that they have to take care of. But within our local club, the lion's share of the money that we raise from Pancake Days goes back into the community. So Kevin's organization will receive the majority of that, but we'll also be able to find Winchester Nurseries and various other organizations, Watts, as well as Olive Branch and various food pantries. So we try to give that money to as many organizations that can use it as best as possible. But what we give is ultimately up to the community. Can they participate? Are they willing to come out? Another objective of ours is to get sponsorship money. So we sponsor our placemats, and there are people, generous contributors who sponsor ads on our placemats. And the majority of it is not for recognition, but just to put money into the money the Pancake Day does receive so that we can give that back out to various organizations in need. Within that, we try to maintain ticket prices that are very reasonable because our pre-sale tickets are $7 a piece. Our at the door ticket prices are $8. And if you go to any fast food restaurant, you'll find that you won't get many meals for at least not of the quality and not of the quantity that you can get at Pancake Day for under $8. So it's something that we not only try to serve the community in the manner of giving money to organizations like Froggy's, but also to feed the community for a relatively inexpensive value proposition for the community to come out and have fun and also eat at the same time. We have a multifaceted goal with our Pancake Day. And of course, just to have fun and meet friends and see people we haven't seen for a long time.
I seem to recall when Clay Perry was on the show the last time talking about it, there had been an issue with the pancake mix, and you had to switch to a different brand or get it from a different supplier. And everybody was very worried that the community was
Yeah.
going to be like, oh, wait, these pancakes don't taste like they have for the last 25 years. There is
Yeah.
a lot that goes into
There,
flipping pancakes. It may sound trivial, but it is very complicated.
Well, the one staple that I don't think anybody would ever let go of is if we switch from Gore's sausage to anything else. I think that would probably be the demise of our function if Gore's sausage ever went out of business or we had to go to another vendor. I think that would be something that might submarine our event for sure.
Pop quiz. How many pounds of sausage do you go through on a typical community pancake day?
We've ordered 2,000 pounds of Gore sausage. So that's normally what we go through on any given Saturday. We do about 1,400 pounds of pancake batter and we do about 80 gallons of apple juice. The milk is provided by Hood. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure about that. And the coffee is cooked in a pot that's probably like what you would expect to see a witch's cauldron, where who knows what things that we'd be boiling in there to make potions out of. But we go through probably several hundred gallons of coffee during our 8-hour stint.
Where would people go to get tickets in advance? I assume that they have them at Froggy's Closet. Is it just through other Kiwanians or are there actual locations?
To buy the tickets in advance, you have to typically find a Kiwanian. There are some maybe people that you would know. You can also go to our website, which is winvakiw.org. So winvakiw.org. And right in the middle, you'll see a couple of faces from some of our members, but you'll see get your tickets here in blue. So if you click on that, then that'll take you to the pre-purchase link, which is online. There's also going to be ads that are coming out of the Winchester Star that have a QR code that you can take a picture of with your phone. It'll take you to the same link that you can buy tickets online that way too.
And Kevin, I imagine you're going to have them and be selling them at any event that you're at, any networking thing that you go to. You're going to have Pancake Day tickets in your pocket along with anybody that's volunteering for your organization.
Absolutely. We're really excited about this partnership. Please, everybody, if you're hungry for pancakes, please come out to this. It promises to be a really exciting event and really goes to a very good cause.
It suddenly occurs to me, we've been talking about this as if everybody knows when it is, where it is, and that sort of
Sure.
stuff. Can you give me the details? Because we've been for so many years, but can you tell me when it
Sure.
is, where it is, the times, all of that sort of thing?
Sure. So it is the 8th of November and it is from 8 o'clock until 4 o'clock. We do takeout and dine-in orders. So a lot of people now, since COVID, about 50% of our participants, people who come to Pancake, they do takeout orders now. So that's become a much bigger part and probably something that will be here to stay. So that's another option. If you have larger orders that you want to place, if there's 15 or more, you need to call ahead because it takes a little while to put those together so that you're not standing there and waiting for too long. We also are going to have a separate parking area for people who have those larger takeout orders that are going to be able to be directed to the back of the building so they're not stuck waiting in the main line and get lost maybe at times. It's at the War Memorial Building like it has been for many years now. One of the things I was going to mention is that we are going to have a table that's set up for Froggies, and maybe Kevin can mention the kind of things that people can bring because we're looking for not only monetary donations. So if you're standing there waiting in line and you'll see a table with either Kevin or one of the representatives from Froggies, they'll be there and they can actually take donations there on site, whether they be checks you want to write, cash you want to give, or wipes, things that Kevin said they have a great need for. You can bring them there with you before you come and eat.
Kevin, what kinds of things do you need?
As Carlton said, we can always use wipes and monetary donations. But the other thing we're looking for at this event are donations of games, either card games or smaller board games, for us to be able to use with our referrals. Often the kids who were benefited by what we do, especially if they're in a foster care situation, they may need to pack up their things and move around or whatever. And one of the first things that tends to get lost in the process are things for them to do, either games to play or coloring books, any kinds of things to keep them busy or to be able to play with their siblings. So having board games or card games, something that's easy for them to be able to pack and take with them, is greatly appreciated. Really anything like that, whether it's a pack of cards or a card game that you get from any local stores or whatever, that seem like they'd be really fun. We're looking for games for pretty much age 7 and up, something that older kids will be able to play. We have a fair amount of child games and things like that, and we're pretty good in that area, but we're a little lower in the areas for games for kids at age 7 and up, and we want to make sure that they have something fun to do too.
So, Carlton, can people just show up at a Kiwanis meeting? When do you meet? How does it work if somebody wants to come check you guys out?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. You can come. We meet at the Moose at 12 o'clock every Wednesday. That's the Winchester Club, which is the noon meeting club. There are two other Kiwanis clubs, the Old Town Club and the Blue Ridge Club. I wish I could give you the details specifically for them, but I think if they looked on Facebook, they can probably look up the Blue Ridge Kiwanis of Winchester or the Old Town Club of Winchester. Those are both other opportunities to join a Kiwanis club and serve the community. The Noon Club is the largest club right now, and we would love to have any new members, people who are interested in serving the community, because Kiwanis truly is a servant organization. We look for opportunities to serve groups like Froggies or anybody who is in need, and we're really excited about the opportunity to do that. We do street cleanups, pickups, we do a variety of other types of service projects as well. But the Pancake Day is by far the largest that we have and the biggest fundraiser that we have every year. So the more people we have, the merrier and the more profitable we can be. So
The meetings that you have every week typically feature a speaker of some
Mhm.
sort, but you and I have spent a fair amount of time before the show and then during the break telling stories about
Yeah.
when I was a member of Kiwanis and is this person still there? And how about this person? And oh, I remember I used to do this with that. They are lifelong friendships that you create when you join clubs, civic clubs like Kiwanis.
What I was telling you is I've been around Kiwanis because my father's been a Kiwanian for about 50 years, or at least close to it. I have been around the Kiwanis Club since the early 80s when I was just in elementary school. So I've participated with Pancake Day from its very early days when there were a bunch of guys cutting sausage, cutting their fingers, doing a lot of other things very late at night to try to get organized for the event. What's funny is I've participated with these guys as a kid, and now a lot of these members are still in the club. So when I came back to join, there were familiar faces. Of course, I had a lot more gray hair than I did then, and many of them are much older, obviously, than they were back then. But these are 40-plus-year relationships that we've reestablished, and it's a lot of fun. Again, when I was explaining about Kevin and his group participating, they're going to find it's not work. It really is a lot of fun, and you get motivated by what you know is the end result, and just by serving others and working with people that you know and you care about and you're friends with. And I think working side by side with people that you care about also makes the event more enjoyable, aside from the fact that you're serving a worthy organization like Froggies.
So winvakiw.org. Winvakiw.org is a great first
Right.
place for people to go.
Absolutely. And they can find information about us as well as buy their tickets there. So there's all kinds of bullets that talk about what Kiwanis does and show some of the members and where you can go to come out to at least investigate the club. We'd love to have more guests, the better.
Kevin, where can people go learn more about Froggy's Closet? Do you have a website, social media, things like that?
We do. We have Facebook and Instagram, and you can also go to our website, which is www.frog-kids.org.
And do you keep a list on there of things that you are in need of at any given point? Wish list of
We
sorts?
We keep a list of items that we generally need. An up-to-date list you can usually get on our social media, usually Tuesday, Wednesday or so. We put out a list on Facebook to let people know what items we're really in desperate need of right now. And the other thing you can see on our website is all the organizations that we partner with, all the partner agencies that we use. We don't usually have a direct referral from clients themselves. Usually the clients work through the social service organizations, and we partner with them to fill their needs and make sure that their folks are being taken care of. And not just in Winchester City, but also Frederick County, Clark County, Shenandoah County, Warren County. We try to make our presence known in a very wide area. So the beneficiaries of the generosity from folks who give to Froggy's Closet really reaches a wide area and benefits a lot of people in a very large area.
Kevin, thank you for taking the time today to give me some background and an update on Froggy's Closet. I appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Carlton, it was good to see you. I hope you sell more pancakes and more pounds of sausage than you ever have. How about that?
We hope as well. Thank you for your assistance in that. Thank you so much, Janet.
I will be back tomorrow. We are talking golf tomorrow, as a matter of fact, with Shenandoah County's Tourism Tuesday. Bo Birdie is a magazine. I don't know a lot about it today as I'm recording, but of course I'll know all of it by the end of the show tomorrow. So we'll be back here for that just a few minutes after noon.